Thank you very much. Good afternoon and warm welcome to all of you joining us today. Uh, I'm Mohammad Rabi Qazada, Program Officer with Atmosphere Program and moderator of this program today. Our session today is on reduction of emission from informal sector, the bricklands in South Asia. At the end of this session, we are expecting to have an overview of the progress, challenges, and way forward for this sector, especially in India, Nepal. Yeah, thank you. And thank you. It's okay. In Bangladesh, India, Pakistan, and Nepal. So, for this purpose, today we have representatives from our government organizations, uh, from development partners joining us online, and also from industrialists from Bricklin associations from 4 countries. To kick off this program, I would like to request Dr. Arun Sharista for opening remark. Arunji, please.
Thank you, Ravi. Um, Good afternoon. It's me again. If you have been attending the sessions here, I have been speaking quite a lot today, but definitely with a great pleasure, of course. Now, this side event on reducing emissions from brick kilns is, to me, also a bit close to me because I have been also trained as a in atmospheric science and air pollution. So I understand uh, the importance of this sector. Brick manufacturing process in general in our part of the world, Hindu Kush Himalaya, Nepal included, is an important source of air pollution in the region. Now, the number I'm going to quote here might not be very accurate, but it seems like around 10 to 20%, in average around 15% of PM 2.5 contributions in the air is by brick sector. I remain to be corrected if I am wrong. Uh, but then the reality is it is very important sector in terms of air pollution, and therefore it seems like an obvious kind of sector where interventions for mitigation has to happen. But of course it is not as simple. We all know brick industry is a traditional in and largely informal sector as well. And we know in this kind of circumstances, changes happen very slowly. Technological changes can happen very slowly, and then there are also some resistance to change, right? The technologies are there to improve emissions, the efficiency of brick industry. For example, zigzag technology, which considerably improves the combustion of fuel, and as a result, its consumption and less emission is obvious. But then, again, implementations have different challenges. Now, in 2015, we had a major earthquake in Nepal, and sometimes this sort of catastrophes, disasters also comes with some blessings, I would say, right? So at least in the brick sector, because majority of brick industries were damaged, it had to be reconstructed, and then a few you know brick entrepreneurs actually took up this measure to build in zigzag fashion, right? So that actually was an opportunity, and actually it has been, accumulating after that. That was the story of Nepal, but then the success in Nepal had influence in other countries in the region as well. in Pakistan, I guess, also had some influence. So, what I have been informed that today 50% of brick kilns in Nepal have been converted to Jagjak technology, whereas in Pakistan, I think 7,000 brick industries have been converted. So these are uh, definitely numbers which tells us that we are progressing, we are having some level of success, but there are also opportunities, there are further opportunities, I think, in this sector. So for all this, we have been privileged to be partnering with Climate and Clean Air Coalition from the very beginning, which we have been partnering with them. But of course, it would not have been possible without very good support from the brick entrepreneurs. Some of them we are very happy to have with us here in Sharm el Sheikh in this Cryosphere Pavilion, and also from government. So definitely, it's a matter of privilege to have eminent speakers here with us today from government sector as well as from the industry. And what we hope to do today is to learn from the government representatives what are the progresses made or being made in terms of policy, because we know for scaling policy is very important, right? Replication can happen autonomously, but then policy measure is very important for mass scaling. And then from industry, from the entrepreneurs, also we'd like to see what are the progress being made, what do you feel about it, but also to learn about the challenges, because understanding the challenge is very important if you want to take it forward in scale. So these are some of the basic expectation, or what we expect to do in this session now starting. And I'm very very much confident that we will move out of this session with a lot of good information which will help us progress further in improving the brick sector and making it clean, um, and efficient, reduce the emission, and also very much socially accepted. Thank you so much.
Uh, Thank you very much, Dr. Arun, for the opening remark. Now, I would like to request Ms. Bidya Banmali Pradhan, who couldn't join with us today in person here. She is in virtual platform with us. I would like to request her for her presentation. She will give us an overview of the brick sector across HKH, especially from ECMOD perspective, what we have done so far. Bidya ji, if you're there, you can come in, please.
Respected government officials, Brooklyn entrepreneurs, uh, delegates, and those who are present in the Cryosphere Pavilion, my warm greetings from EC Mode. So I'll be giving a little bit of pictorial overview for you all so that you can better understand this sector, because most of you must not have even visited the Bricklands. So now EC Mode is here in COP with the two main messages: to bring mountain agenda towards the center of global climate and environment discourse. And the second is investing in mountain-specific climate priorities that will help limit global warming to 1.5 degrees. And the same message is very much relevant to the brick sector, as this is one of the neglected sector from both policy and enterprise lens. And also transforming this sector will contribute significantly to achieve net zero emission, which is one of the target of COP. And if you see the picture from the satellite, especially in this season, towards the winter season, most of the HKH region is covered with haze. And this haze not only stays in the plain areas in the Indo-Gangetic, but it also penetrates into the deep mountain valleys. And this is the time when approximately we have 150,000 bricklins in South Asia. They operate. And for the benefit of those who doesn't know about the sector, usually in South Asia, the bricklins operate from November to April. And they are in the seasonal business. So they close down in the monsoon time and they operate in the winter season. And regarding the emissions, this brick sector is blamed for emissions and also the social issues. And if you talk about the emissions, it emits around 120 teragram CO2, 2.5 teragram of CO, 0.19 teragram of PM 2.5, and 0.12 teragram of black carbon. So, and about the people, there are more than 20 million people who work in the brick industry. And usually, the working conditions are very poor in this brick sector. So these are the major issues. So what have ECMO done so far? And this wouldn't have possible without the support from the partners, Arunji has already mentioned the support that CCAC has provided. And additionally, UK Aid had leveraged the fund to do further intervention in this sector. So we are very thankful, and not to forget the brick entrepreneurs and government who has been together in this journey. And ECMOD has worked mostly on capacity building, on social issues, on policy support, and also on South-South cooperation. So I'll just give a brief overview on this. We have, because we were promoting the zigzag technology, which is energy efficient and also environment friendly, less polluting. So the first thing was to build capacity. And now we have built capacity. We have done in all the regions, Nepal, Bangladesh, India, and Pakistan. And we have trained more than 3,000 bricklin entrepreneurs and workers to uptake this zigzag technology. The second is once we were trained and the zigzag was converted, we started to show this evidence-based science and started measuring the Kilns. And here we are able to show that 14% of CO2 and 40% of PM and around 60% of black carbon was reduced. And this has been come out in the peer-reviewed journal as well. And totally so far, Arunji had already said the numbers, 7,000 bricklins, 50% in Pakistan and 50% of Nepal, the bricklins are already converted. And through that, we are able to reduce around 4% of CO2 and 12% of PM and 17% of BC emission from this brick sector. Not only that, and we are also looking towards cleaner intervention additional to the zigzag methodology, like using initial gas firing, using LPG gas. Bricks, Kiln used to use a firewood to initially ignite the bricklins, and they used to use 15 to 20 tons of firewood to ignite bricklins. Now this is 100% substituted by LPG gas, and this has been cleaner because LPG is far, far more cleaner than the firewood, and it has also shown cost effective, they were able to save 60% of the cost, and it's so convenient for the owners. They were able to ignite coal very efficiently within 2 to 4 hours. So this has been well taken, and on emission reduction also considerably. Secondly, like, with the price hike in coal, like pellet could be a alternative options. And not only that, pellet has proved to be a quite a good option for baking bricks. And this has, other mitigating advantage, like, we have a huge problem in the Indo-Gangetic plain on crop burning. So these could be used as pellets. And I think Madam is there from Punjab State Council for Science and Technology. And, they have done quite a good intervention on this reducing this crop burning from making of this, manufacturing this pellet and using in various industries. So we have done a pilot, and it showed like 30% of pellet. There were a reduction of around 16% of CO2 already. So these are the intervention that we have worked. And on the social side, like Bricklin is always blamed for poor working condition of workers, and you must have heard about the bonded labor, especially in the Bricklins. And these are some of the issues that really revolves around when we talk about the Bricklins. And here we have worked with at least like with Nepal Bricklin associations, and we worked on 4 pillars, like on the social issues, effective end of child labor. The other thing is on the transparent employment condition, basic services and facilities in the workplace, because if you visit the Bricklins, they don't even have toilets. And also safe workplace for the women, because here around 50% of women are in the brick sector. And I'm happy to say that Nepal has already adopted this social code of conduct, the Brick Association of Nepal, and we are on the way of taking this to Pakistan and then to India. ECMOD being a regional organization, and we have been always promoting this regional network, and ECMOD has facilitated the formation of Federation of Asian Bricklin Association, and I'm happy that at least 3 members of this Federation of FABCA members are there, and one is joining virtually as he couldn't make up to Sharm el-Sheikh. And this is the network of brick entrepreneurs, which promotes an exchange of knowledge, technologies, good practice, lessons learned. And they have a very vibrant platform in WhatsApp where they can share and learn all these technologies. And also they discuss among each other. So this has been really vibrant. And now we are also in the last meeting that we had in Hanoi, we developed a roadmap for this FABCA. Not only that, like, brick used to be quite a neglected sector, and I'm happy to let you know that I think like it's no more a neglected sector, and we have a lot of high-level policy level traction in this sector, like the visits by ministers and high-level delegation, and even brick, especially the zigzag issues, was discussed in the Parliament of India and Pakistan. So we are able to, and this COP is also one of the good platform where we can showcase the advancement in this sector. And in COP26 also, in the Pakistan pavilion, we had a short presentation on the bricks, that the work that we had done in Pakistan, because it was amazing work. They were converted, like in Punjab, Pakistan, almost 100% within 2-3 years. So this was really remarkable gesture from the Pakistan, with the collaboration of Bricklin Association and also with government. And without the support of Climate and Clean Air Coalition, where we have Martina and Katina joining virtually. Without your support, we couldn't have been entering this sector, and also, UK8, which has leveraged support in this sector. And with this, thank you.
Thank you very much. Hello? Hello? Thank you very much, Vidya for your presentation and running us through a comprehensive presentation and valuable information and actions that we have done in EC mode till now, not only in terms of technical but also social issues, as well as our activities around regional collaboration. So now I'd like to request Ms. Martina Otto, Head of CCC Secretariat, for her remarks.
The very sad impact of the earthquake in Nepal, I do very well recall. We had just had our working group meeting there, so we were all very personally touched as well, because we had seen things with our own eyes. And we did say we have to find a way to get a little bit of silver lining to what has happened. And it was described how this has helped with the transition. And obviously, hopefully it doesn't take always such a terrible event to help us move and make a transition. And Vidya just talked about the importance of collaboration and sharing experience, and this is sort of the bread and butter in what we're doing. And I want to alert you to a group of potential friends that are in a different pavilion. It's the buildings pavilion, and you may want to actually go over there and see whether there are some allies to drive the issue. They come from it as building materials from a slightly different sort of angle, coming firsthand with energy efficiency of buildings, but they come to this topic as well. So there's maybe many more people to connect to. But now to my remarks. And obviously we heard already how important the sector is from a social perspective, from an economic perspective, and obviously as well we alluded to the environmental aspects, the negative consequences that we've seen. And obviously urbanization is and economic growth are driving more building growth with the demand for floor space. So that means also more demand for bricks. And at the same time, we do see as results of this urbanization, economic growth as well, already stark air pollution and transboundary air pollution impacts in the region in particular. And that means it's really urgent to act on the topic. So bricks are a key building material. The South Asia region produces approximately 310 billion bricks per year, representing nearly a quarter of total global brick production. So that's quite a number. When burning low-grade coal, we heard that already. It's a sector that really contributes to air pollution. At the same time, the region is already very affected in terms of citizens breathing air that really exceeds WHO air quality guidelines, making this a real topic. We talked about sort of this, the number. We're looking at about 20% of total worldwide black carbon emissions coming from brick kilns, resources, black carbon, along with obviously the iron and steel production as well. Now, the impact of black carbon on health is pretty known. The relation to particulate matter, 2.5 pollution has been made, but it's also a climate forcer. Black carbon is between 460 and 1.5 thousand times more toxic for our climate than CO2 emissions, and it is an important cause for global warming. And if we look at the cryosphere regions, also the melting of glaciers. And there's a third component that we need to look at, and that's the black carbon's short atmospheric lifetime. And that is actually part of a good news story, because because of this shorter atmospheric lifetime and the strong warming potential, that means if we take action now, we can actually help reduce some of the climate impact in the near term. And that's the essence, the bread and butter of the Climate and Clean Air Coalition. That's the UNEP-convened initiative, a global partnership that brings together 77 countries and 78 non-state partners committed to catalyzing action on what we call short-lived climate pollutants. And since 2013, really, CCAC has been the only effort that addressed internationally emissions from the brick sector. And we were really focusing on addressing some of the barriers. And we're really glad to see that it's really above the radar now, and obviously working very closely with all the partners, working regionally so hard. And we have provided detailed environmental, economic, and technical analysis of the brick sector and its characteristics. We've developed inventories of brick kiln locations, production technologies, and fuel types across targeted countries. So it's a lot of the scaffolding work. We've made black carbon field measurements to monitor the emissions. So we always say, if you don't know how big it is, you can't fix it. So we did the measurements as well. We conducted technical training to brick producers in Latin America and in Asia on best practices. So really addressing the issues around the workforce. And then we also spurred policy actions leading to the inclusion of the brick sector in the NDCs, but also looking at regulatory reform and so on. And key to all of this is improved knowledge and awareness. And if I just look at, for example, Bangladesh, Pakistan, Nepal, and India, the countries have already been mentioned, the CCA's work in South Asia has contributed to the ongoing transition to much more efficient and less polluting zigzag kiln technology. And it's really good to see that the different technologies, looking at the different fuels that can be used, but also looking at diversification in the material with the hollow bricks, for example. And what we have seen is that this conversion to zigzag kilns has had a triple bottom line of benefits, with a reduction in fuel consumption, and that means it's more cost effective, with a reduction in air pollution, and with improvements in brick quality. And that should actually really be a compelling enough argument to go down that route. So it's recognized that the engaging the informal sector, and that's really present in the sector, is both essential and not an easy task. When we talk about these win-win solutions, we must keep an eye on the social aspects, and we must ensure that we bring all the actors along this transition process. It also means talking about creating opportunities, new opportunities with training and so on, but also the safety nets, the social safety nets that are needed. And I really want to stop here, but I would like to acknowledge the support of ICIMOD, the good cooperation that we had with ICIMOD, with the brick associations in South Asia, and other key actors that have been instrumental in delivering the work that I just highlighted. And I really wish you a very successful event. And I hope this collaborative effort will strengthen knowledge of the technical innovation that we will hear throughout the session, but also looking at the policy frameworks that enable this transition to more efficient brick production. And with that, thank you very much.
Hello. Yeah. Thank you very much, Martina, head of CC's Secretariat, for your valuable remarks. We have recorded video from Dr. Pema Gamso, our Director General at ICIMOD. So I would like to request my colleagues to screen that. Yeah.
That come out of a brick kiln in the emissions that come out of a brick kiln in one country doesn't stop at its borders. The impacts transcend national boundaries. The impacts on the environment, on the health of the people, the economy, and even food production, water quality are felt by communities both in and around the region. Therefore, we took up this work, and we have introduced now a technology called Zigzag, which reduces the emission of dust particles by up to 40%, the black carbon emissions by up to 60%, and carbon dioxide by up to 14%. Now, these are substantial reductions, and this technology, I'm happy to say, is now being adopted throughout Nepal and also in Pakistan. In the coming years, we are planning to scale it out to India and Bangladesh, and we feel that this would make a very, very significant contribution to improving the quality of air in the region. The emissions that come out of a brick plane in one country doesn't stop at its borders. The impacts transcend national boundaries. The impacts on the environment, on the health of the people, the economy, and even food production, water quality are felt by communities both in and around the region. Therefore, we took up this work and we have introduced now a technology called Zigzag, which reduces the emission of dust particles by up to 40%, the black carbon emissions by up to 60%, and carbon dioxide by up to 14%. Now, these are substantial reductions, and this technology, I'm happy to say, is now being adopted throughout Nepal and also in Pakistan. In the coming years, we are planning to scale it out to India and Bangladesh, and we feel that this would make a very, very significant contribution to improving the quality of air in the region. The emissions that come out of a brick plane in one country doesn't stop at its borders. The impacts transcend national boundaries. The impacts on the environment, on the health of the people, the economy, and even food production, water quality are felt.
I would like to thank Dr. Pema Gamsu for outlining the importance of interventions in this sector. So we have Mr. Kiwal Bandari, Secretary, National Planning Commission, Nepal. I would like to request him for his valuable remark. Yes, please.
लाइट चल्छ पुरै लाइट Good afternoon. A representative from HKS countries, a representative from brick industries, ISIMOD colleague, delegates participating from virtual world, including DG ISIMOD, Mr. Pema, ladies and gentlemen, media representatives. Sorry. I am pleased to participate in this important event on mitigating black carbon and other pollutants from brick pollution production sector. First of all, I would like to thank you to the organizer, especially in the Cryosphere Pavilion, ISIMOD, and other concerned agency who are able to make these things happen in discussion today. I want to focus on this. I want to ask, what is the basic and fundamental need for human surviving? Food, water, air. Without food, how long we can survive? Some days, some months. Without water, how long we can survive? Couple of days. And without clean air, where is our life without clean air? Just imagine. And the presentation made here by Vidyaji shows the ground reality of emission in our region. Despite the availability of clean technology, the majority of bricks used each year in our region are produced in polluting kilns. The excessive energy requirement and the release of large amounts of particulate matter, black carbon, sulfur dioxide, carbon dioxide, and other pollutants are major concern. The government of Nepal has endorsed long-term strategy (LTS) for net zero emissions, as many other countries in our regions are same commitment here. We aim to reach net zero emission by 2045 with some of the transformational actions to reduce CHG from major sectors such as brick kilns. We have proposed the replacement of traditional brick kilns FCBKT with modern improved brick kilns zigzag as discussed with several presentation and my earlier speaker and electronic tunnel kilns. This technology is successful in many countries, including our SKS member, especially in Pakistan. Nepal still faces several challenges in its implementation. There are many reasons for this. The major reason is our fragmented cluster of production scenario is very fragmented. An individual economy of scale is pretty small and highly scattered. So it's very hard to implement this technology to each and every industrialist. We need to introduce this by any means. It is a priority issue, but we are unable to invest to improve this sector. Probably, we need more focus on conditional financing from both domestic and global. This is one of the important and urgent climate finance agenda where I personally feel the missing links, where I personally still feel the missing links. My from government and ICMOD will work hard. My colleagues from government and ICMOD will work hard in this sector. My earlier speaker, colleagues from ICMOD mentioned that the policy is major issue for implementation. I want to focus on policy. I think I am here as a policy making institution, representing policy making institution. Policy demand and agenda setting is primary things. Policy drafting and policy decision is the key. Policy backup with fiscal notes is very basic, and then effective policy implementation is must. And our each and every policy must protect our human life, must protect human face in our life. Ladies and gentlemen, there are some technical issue which my colleagues from government of Nepal, Mr. Joshi, will communicate here in the forum. Beside this, the BRICS sector of Nepal seems to be comparatively small, as I mentioned you earlier, other than HKH countries. But still it is playing important role to mitigate regional air pollution and climate change issues. The innovation for the technology upgradation on the cleaner brick making process generated in Nepal is being outscaled by other regional countries. We are happy to further collaboration in the regional and international cooperation in modernizing bricking. And finally, how we trained, educated, and modern people of our region have capacity to use advanced technology and able to make our life and living better, not only for the present day, but for our youth, for children, and future. Thank you once again for engaging us in this important topic. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Bandariji. Now to dive deeper and see it from a different lens, we have industrialists here, representative of Bricklane associations from three countries, from India, Nepal, and Pakistan. Their remarks will cover the challenges, opportunities, and what they have been through, like the status now in the brick sector that they have in their country. So I would like to request Mr. Mahendra for his remarks. Mahendra ji, please.
I would like to first thank Mr. Mohammad Ravi for giving me the opportunity from Ishimod to displace, to put something of our Brooklyn in Nepal and relation with our countries. Mainly, I'd like to say namaste and good afternoon, firstly to the Ishimod colleagues and organizers, and then to our government officials and our related FABCA government officials and our other observators and our colleagues. I would like to say Brooklyn in Nepal. What is the status on our view and what to do? What are the challenges for us, for we brick entrepreneurs? Now we are in very good process on our Brooklyn transition from its traditional type of to cleaner technologies such as zigzag type. So far, we have converted more than 50% of our traditional brick kilns to zigzag type, and many more are on the way to conversion. We will have most of our kilns as cleaner kilns in the immediate future. Our few and new entrepreneurs are already on the way to moving to a more modernized, like tunnel clean and mechanized with socially responsible type. The invention and support from the government of Nepal, mostly on standardization and labor issue, are also appreciated. And for all these activities, we want to thanks and credit goes to Ishimod, CCAC, like UK Aid, Minergy, GIZ, ESDC, and Chain, and other supporting partners as well as to our entrepreneurs as well. Despite of this process and support, we are facing challenges as well. The major challenges may be behavior and habitual change on the adoption of modern technology from our many entrepreneurs. Many new and modern technologies are coming up. However, about the relevant skills and knowledge to adopt these inventions are still lacking. Fuel prices are rising, hence it is almost requirement to explore alternative fuel which should have better energy value and can contribute to our NDC goals. Lack of sufficient financial strength and support. Banking and insurance sectors still consider us as an informal sector that can help to transition of the brick sector. However, we are getting lots of opportunities to develop the sectors. Local, regional, and global support and collaboration have been increasing for the betterment of the sectors. Association with Ishimod and CCAC and other organizations brought us more clarity about modern technology and innovation in the sector, and being recognized at global level, our presence on this COP is an example. Rising fuel prices and national commitments to net zero emissions have opened the door to exploring more about alternative fuel and process modification. We acknowledge the support from our partners and are already ready to work more than make the sector more sustainable and pollution free. Once again, I would like to thank all the participants over here from as a brick entrepreneur representative from Federation of Nepal Brick Industries. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mahendra ji. Now I would like to request Mr. Ashok Kumar Tiwari from India to present his remarks.
Good afternoon to all who are present in this hall and those who have joined virtually. It is rightly said that the policy matters, and the policy is the main driving force for any change. It is said. But honestly speaking, about this issue, much has been discussed in the Hanoi, Vietnam. I am again not repeating all those issues. I am just here focusing the few newer ones. So far as the policy is concerned, every government is making policy very honestly. They are trying to make the policy very honestly, no doubt about it. But actually, there is a big gap in between this honesty and reality for whom the policy is made. That is why there is a very resistance in adaptation of the new technology. And secondly, there is a policy gap as well. It is blamed that the sector is not responding in the cherished way. The fact is not like that. Because you see the lot of things about the electrical vehicles. What has been shown in the picture by Vidyaji that the brick is being unloaded by the laborers in that way. Actually, it rarely happens anywhere because 75% of the bricks in the South Asian region is made in India. And the rest of 25% is in all other provinces, all other countries. In our country, we have seen that the maximum brick fields, they have adopted the electric vehicles for the loading of green bricks and unloading of green bricks and loading. No government order has been passed for that. Even then, it has been done within a couple of years. Exactly in the same way, a lot of things like pugging, puck mills and extruders, they have been done without any call from the government. But why this thing is not happening? It is for two reasons. One, there is a policy gap. And secondly, there is enough scope of intervention of the technology in this zigzag system. Because what the system needs and what we are practicing, there is a big gap. And I'm sure, I can guarantee if this capacity building is done, then we can reduce again 50% what is being done, what is the result available in zigzag by now. Because zigzag, maybe it is a new technology, but in many parts of India, we had adopted almost 2 decades back. For example, myself, I have this technology since 1998. I am practicing this. Almost 24 years has elapsed since I am practicing this technology. By that time, there was no guideline for the Pollution Control Board. But we have, at that time, driving force was the demand in the market, because there was a major shift in the demand because the lower quality of bricks and broken bricks were not in the demand. That's why we had adopted that technology by that time. Now, let us think that what are the main resources. Since I have very limited time today and I have been asked by the Ravi to conclude within 4 minutes, I think 2.5 minutes has gone. And so the resources, what we use is the fuel. That is, by this time we are using coal, agro waste and biomass. Madam is here. They are the pioneer for making the pellets and we are using that. And in many parts, we are, and recently government of Punjab has passed an order that every brick kiln will have to use at least 25% pellets in the coal. And in our state, in Bengal, in other states, we are already mixing the rice husk and other things in that, and the sawdust, whatever is available. And there is one thing in India that is unique within itself. It needs to be promoted from the policy level. That is the clay harvesting. In maximum portion, it is claimed that when we excavate the brick, almost the nature of land is changed. But there is also a concept that when there is no change in the character of the land, even then the clay can be harvested. That is in Bangladesh. That could be done by and large in the Bangladesh and in Bengal, and in many part of there is a difference in between dredging and excavating of the earth. There are sedimented loaded rivers in the India. Almost 72 rivers are there. Those who have full sediment load. For example, in Bengal and my brick field, which I am running, and the same place, it was run by the Martin and burned 300 years back. Without changing up any nature of the land, whatever silt we remove, again that silt is filled up, and that system could be understood, and it should be made. There should be a policy for this sediment collection, harvesting, and apart from that, there are a lot of landlocked rivers in the country. For example, even in one state, Uttar Pradesh, there are about 8,000 hectares of ponds which are landlocked, and all those ponds have lost the water retention capacity. And secondly, that is the progressive mine. What we call that is the progressive. And secondly, fly ash mixed bricks and topsoil. Now, why there is a big gap in the policy level, and what the government actually, when we talk about, I am not especially talking about the India, because I am talking about the South Asia, because pollution recognizes no boundary. Already we have EC mode, and our Pakistan friends, they have understood that if the burning up paddy husk is coming from the Punjab to the Delhi due to the low mixing height, low LMH, the same thing is coming from the Punjab, from the Pakistan to this district, from India to Bangladesh. It recognizes no boundary. So there should be some interconnected efforts, interconnected policies as well. That's why we have formed one organization known as FABCA. In almost all the South Asian countries, particularly in India, there is an absence of nodal ministry. Main deadlock is a big policy gap that breaks the transformation mission and slow down the motivational factor. And the second thing is the biggest problem. I had mentioned that when there was a discussion about the roadmap, I had asked one question: from which point we have to start the change and to which point we have to go. In between is the planning. And we have what will be the first starting point for the brick sector, that is the scientific size of the bricks. There is no scientific size of the bricks. There is no technical specification in the practice. However, it is on the document, but no one practices this. Had there been a very scientific size, I can assure you, in almost all the, I was discussing with Nepal and Pakistan, what is the length of the brick is simply half of the length is width of the bricks. This is very much unscientific, because at least 30% of mortar, that is again a natural ingredient, that is being lost. And I had mentioned this point. Secondly, the size of bricks should be guided by the building bylaws, or the building bylaws should be amended for the size of bricks. There is a labor existing policies. There should be some labor policies. However, in India, we are going to have a labor code bill very shortly, which is very much scientific. And secondly, so far as the social issues are concerned in India, in fact, Pradhan Mantri, a lot of Prime Minister policies for the welfare of the society, and we are adopting that, and we are also promoting that. And in India, being the president of the federation, I am also always in the negotiation with the authorities to bridge this policy gap. And I have already told what are the technological. So again, my mind is tossing upon the Rabi's alert program always. He has knocked me, sir, you must not cross 5 minutes. Already I have violated. Even then, coming to the last point, that is the solution. In India, any road or any transformation energy resource will go through the uniform scientific size for the clay bricks. So there, the first thing is solution is that there should be a scientific size. That will be our starting point. There should be either a nodal ministry or any ministry responsible for the brick sector. I can just very shortly quote only 2 examples. Brick kilns are the 3rd largest coal consumer in the country, after thermal power and steel plant. You see, for the coal consumption, making the policy for the coal consumption, there is a power ministry. They deal with that. There is a steel ministry, industries minister, big industry, they deal with that. But where is the ministry that deals with the brick sector, which is 3rd largest consumer? Why not? There must be a ministry, nodal ministry, a responsible ministry who should be accountable for that. Only then this could be done. And secondly, capacity building policy. There should be a capacity building policy at national level and some reward system as well. Because all those brick makers, those who have changed their technology without any financial help from any government. I have heard that Pakistan government has most probably given something. But in India, where the 75% bricks are produced, no government help. Apart from that, in green building green building certification, if any building has got the green certification, they are getting 15% FAR and 25% capital subsidy on the investment for the cleaner technology. Then why not for the big fields? If those who are adopting the cleaner technology, those who are meeting the certain norms, you set the norms that you have to meet it. And you set the norms, emission norms, everything you set that, and we will meet that. If we are meeting to that, you check it, then you must have some reward system for us to promote the product or to promote the brick sector. And these are solutions. I think I have taken 35% time which was allotted to me. More 35%. Thank you, all of you.
Thank you very much, Tiwaraji. Since we are running out of time, I would like to request colleagues to be precise with the timing. Now I'd like to request Mr. Meher Abdul Haq from Pakistan, but requesting to be short. Thank you.
Assalamu alaikum, namaste, and good afternoon, everybody. Rest assured, Mr. Abi, I will take no more time, extra time. All the time is already taken my senior, Mr. Ashok Kumar Tiwari, President, India. Okay. Actually, first of all, I'm Pakistani. I'm the Senior Vice Chairman of Brick Association Pakistan. I would just want to share only 3 things with you. First, how did we start in Pakistan with zigzag? Before 2017, there was no concept and idea in Pakistan about zigzag and any other technology. How can we save our environment? How can save our fuel and energy? And 2017 February, Mr. Vidya Pradhan with her team visited Pakistan and had a meeting with the Ministry of Climate Change and with Brick Association Pakistan. There we committed. Okay, we will visit Nepal by our own self, with our own expenses. We visited Nepal and we were really surprised how they were working. We went back to Pakistan and took the initiative, and we made a first brick kiln zigzag in Pakistan in 2017. As my already Ms. Vidya Pradhan has very comprehensive briefing on brick kiln sector, especially for Pakistan. Now there's about 20,000 brick kiln in Pakistan, and almost in Punjab, infrastructure and blower has been installed all over the Punjab. And now we are struggling in KPK, Balochistan, and in Sindh. Hopefully, inshallah, within coming days, with the support of EC Mode and with, I would also like thank FNBI, Nepal Federation. They helped us a lot. This is the story of Pakistan brick kiln sector, and the challenges are the same in all the region. We are facing the coal crisis, and we are lacking the technical support, especially the skilled labor. And now the opportunities are very much bright. On this forum, I would request to all the participants, please support our goal, because Pakistan is the one of the country in the world which is facing big disaster in the recent flood. You know, Pakistan has very small portion in global warming, but paying a very big cost. That's why actually the developed countries has a very big portion in polluting the air. But now it's a need of the time. I will request this forum, please help the developing countries to promote this kind of projects. And I think so. A lot of things to discuss here, but short of time. Thank you very much. I'm grateful to EC Mode again and all the participants. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Mayor Sab. Now we will go to Mr. Asad Rahman Khan, who is online with us. He couldn't make to come here. If colleague can screen it here. We would like to have a brief remark from him on. He is the representative of the Brick Lane Association in Bangladesh. Is
Hello, I am Asadur Rahman Khan, General Secretary, Bangladesh Brick Manufacturing Owners Association. Hello, you are hearing? Hello.
Yes, Mr. Asadur, we can hear you.
Okay. Respected government delegates, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. Good afternoon, everyone. It is my pleasure to join an event of National Center for Integrated Mountain Development, ICMOD, Sharm el-Sheikh COP27, Egypt. Reducing emission from the informal sector, brick kilns in South Asia. This title includes me, my association, country, and global. ICMOD has been work for brick field sector to reduce black carbon and emission of carbon dioxide. Since 2014, ICMOD has been connected with us regarding this and continues to support Bangladesh Brick Manufacturing Owners Association. Bangladesh is a developing country having 160 million people in a small area of land. Clay bricks are the most important building materials in Bangladesh. Bricks are used in housing and road construction. Total brick production estimated 24 billion annually. Over 8,000 bricks fields are operating in Bangladesh. Last few years, 98% brick fields are operating in zigzag clean technology due to government's law. There are also other modern technology operating like tunnel and hybrid open clean. Zigzag clean is now environmental friendly and clean technology. South Asia produce brick in this technology. Recently, Dhaka University Chemistry Department published a journal in 2020 where we found Bricklin is responsible for pollution 10%. Pollution source has been changed in Bangladesh. This happens because of the changing the technology. Bangladesh is a country of a large population. Bangladesh is a country of a large population. Food security first. Due to this, uh, due to this, collecting the soil from the agricultural land is banned. Collecting soil is now main problem for the brick field. I would like to thank Isimur for organizing regional cooperation to develop the brick sector in Asia. Asian countries, Bricklin Owners Association, convene for the Federation of South Asian Bricklin Association (FEPTA) to extend the FEPTA plans, exchange of knowledge, technologies, and common interests. On behalf of Bangladesh Brick Manufacturing Owners Association, I appreciate and wish that this event was for government and policymakers to consider the solution of brick sector. My thanks to Isuru for arranging such an event in Sharm el Sheikh COP27 Egypt. Hope COP27 UNFCCC program reaches its goal. I feel very sorry for myself that I could not physically attend this event. I would only call this as my bad luck that I couldn't visit a beautiful country like Egypt. That's all for me. Thanks, my friends. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Asadur Rahman Khan Saab. Now, keeping the progress in this sector in mind and the challenges pointed out by the industrialists, we will go to second round of our remarks by the government representatives. They are covering mainly the current policies in place in this sector and what is the way forward for this sector. So I would like to request Mr. Syed Nazmul Hassan, Director of Department of Environment from Bangladesh, for his remark.
Hello. Yeah, thank you very much. Good afternoon, everyone. Due to time constraint, I will not go in detail. In a nutshell, I will try to share my knowledge that what is our government policy in brick sector. So already my colleague has mentioned that actually we have transformed from FTA to GTA in 2015. And at present, already around 85 to 90% brick is in GTA technology. So basically, recently our government has taken initiative to control the abandoned brick. That way, in 2019, government has issued a circular where it has been mentioned that by 2025, all government on activities will be done by non-bound brick in by phase-wise. So, and also, you know that government is now promoting the only tunnel and hybrid hotman in each of each year. Why government is now going in that way? Because already my colleague has mentioned that in our country officially we have 8,000 number of brick kiln, but unofficially it's more than 10,000. And these brick kilns, they use around 1.5 billion tons of soil. And interestingly, 95% brick kilns, they use the radiation topsoil. So each and every year, we are losing thousands of hectares of fertile land. So that's why our Honorable Prime Minister has even the instruction to convert from mountain brick to non-mountain brick for save our fertile land, because we have a land scarcity. That is number one. And number two, though you know that we are saying that it is improved technology, but due to lack of maintenance in the brick owner or brick, they never try to maintain properly maintain the brick. In that way, our air pollution is increasing day by day. This is another issue. So at present, our government policy is like that. Since the panel and hybrid is an improved technology and it run around the year, so that way Ministry of Industry has declared it as a industry. And also government is promoting the tunnel and hybrid hotman, because one tunnel industry is equal to more than 50 GJ in brick kiln. So if we can convert it to from GJ to vertical or hybrid hotman, so our planning is that it is not more than 500. Only 500 tunnel or hybrid hotman and meet up our demand. As well as non-bound breed, that means block breed we are promoting. And at present we have 209 block industry, and all the government is now trying to promote to increase the number of non-bound breed industry like block. But this is our government policy, Mr. Ravi. So I will not go in detail. Already I have mentioned. I think I am within that time. So thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Mr. Syed Nazmul Hassan. Now we will go to the presentation from India. We have Jatinder Kaur Arora, Executive Director, Punjab State Council for Science and Technology, for his remark.
Very happy to be here. There's a small presentation, Rabi, if somebody can, yeah. Thank you. Yeah. How does it move forward? So that's what India is targeting at, being net zero by 2070. And I would say brick kiln sector has a major potential to contribute towards that. Just a second. How's it not working? Yeah. Oh, I think that'll be nicer. Yeah. So if somebody can operate the slides for me, yeah, that'll be nice. So I think taking you further, this is only a small presentation. I thought this session is particularly to talk about what are the policy initiatives happening and what is it that we plan to do in future. I'm just giving you a historical perspective and where we are standing today. In 96, India came up with the first emission standards. It's not moving. The next one, maybe let's go to the next one. Yeah, here. So if you see, the first emission standards for brick kilns came in India in 1996, and that was 750 milligrams per normal metric cube. At that point of time, we used to have the moving chimney kilns, and that's where then the directive came and the technology came for shifting to fixed chimney brick kilns. And I have the organization that I head in Punjab is the think tank of Department of Science, Technology and Environment, Government of Punjab, as well as the state level node of Department of Science and Technology, Government of India. So all these technological interventions as well as the policy interventions that happened over the period of time, uh, we have been fortunate to actually deliver those on ground, to conceptualize those as well as deliver those. So, having talked about 96, then 2012, 2013, we carried out a study for Ministry of Environment and Forest, Government of India. It was a pan-India study based on which we came up with these standards, the new emission standards, which then Government of India issued in 2022, this year only in February. The By having done that, the zigzag technology then came into force, and I think by having practiced these technological interventions, already almost about 80% emission reduction has happened in the brick-kiln sector. And Shokji, I totally agree with you. It depends on how are the operational practices. That's what will actually bring the emission norms, what the government of India is targeting at. And further on, what is the future that we are looking at? I'll come to the vision that I would like to suggest. Let's go to the next slide. If somebody is operating the slides for me. So still the brick kiln sector is being said to contribute maximum towards the black carbon. So what is it more that we can do? Let's go to the next one. So I am sharing some of the best practices from Punjab. My predecessors, Vidya said about the biomass pellets. Ashokji, you also mentioned. Uh, so we came up, that's the approach actually we follow. So that's how the trickling effect, the replicative effect is very strong. What we try to do, we set up, say, a few demonstration units, of course, mobilizing funding from various sources in Government of India and the state government. And once the demonstration units are in place, then it kind of inculcates a confidence in industry, and then the adoption is very quick. That's what we did in case of Zigzag also. We had set up 2 demo units. Based on that, now but we have close to 2000 brick kilns, and almost every other brick kiln in Punjab has now converted to Zigzag technology. And simultaneously, we came up with a new intervention in the rural areas. For example, there's a challenge of continuous supply of electricity. So we came up with a hybrid brick kiln which can operate with or without electricity, and have also filed patent for that. Let's go to the next. And this is another very meaningful intervention that I would like to share. Bindia mentioned about the social aspect. I would say it was a very, very satisfying experience. During peak COVID, all of you are aware, there was a huge, huge challenge that the industry faced about the labor migration. And the labor that they had to sustain with, had to be trained. So during that period, we took up that challenge, started with the province of Punjab in India, online training. The brick kiln owners organized and brought their whatever manpower they were left with, brought them on board for capacity building. And then Government of India wanted us to do for the other states also. So we covered a large number of brick kiln workers across 6, 7 states in India. Let's go to the next one. Yeah. And yeah, so this is another, I would say, a path breaking endeavor. Rightly said, it's, I would say, a pioneering initiative which serves the twin cause. In Punjab province of India, we have it's the bread basket of the country. Every year we produced about 17 million tons of paddy straw, and paddy straw burning is a major challenge. And We tried various combination permutations and have gained success with 20% replacement of coal with fuel. And happy to share that just before coming, I've got this notification issued. It's now mandatorily all the brick kilns in Punjab will be replacing 20% coal with paddy straw pellets. And in times to come, I see they'll go on to even much more percentage. I foresee, say, 50%, because the economics are in place. You know, it's if you make money, the tech intervention will work. So that's what is happening in this case. It's a cheaper raw material. Everybody touched upon the rising prices of coal. So it's a win-win situation. It reduces the emissions as well as takes care of the challenge of paddy straw, as well as it leads to economic benefits. If I give you quickly, perhaps the next slide covers. Let's go to the next one. Yeah. So here, if you look at the economics and in terms of the statistics, if I share with you, for every billion of let's go here, yeah, every billion bricks produced, the manufacturer saves to the tune of 2.4 million USD. And if you look at the emission savings, it's to the tune of 44,000 ton carbon dioxide per annum. Let's go to the next one. So that's what is happening as of now. And also, having said that, since I'm talking of the interventions both happening at the technology level as well as at the policy level, there is a commission for air quality monitoring specifically set up by Government of India, which is giving policy directives based on the carrying capacity of the region. For example, in National Capital Region, already all the industries have been given directive to shift to either piped natural gas or the biomass based fuels, which means that the pioneering initiative that Punjab has taken by mandatorily enforcing 20% replacement, we foresee lots of palletization units coming up in Punjab in the times to come, which will cater not only to the pallet requirement in Punjab but also in NCR, in the National Capital Region of India. And obviously, which means a lot of employment generation as well. And coming to the future, planning, the pointers that I would like to share. One, ISIMOD is already thinking of coming up with a vision document. I think it's a very, very welcoming step. Uh, Two, three thoughts on this. One, let's keep the regional diversities in mind when we frame that, because it depends on, region to region, the resource available varies. So I think that's one thing that needs to be kept in mind. And also, for example, when I say resource, say within India itself, again within Punjab, say we have five thermal power plants which are operational. And for example, Jammu and Kashmir doesn't have any power plant. So coming up with a directive that if fly ash based bricks, and in times if that kind of directive has to come, then looking at this has to be looked into whether this resource is available in a particular state, in a particular region, and so on and so forth. And also a lot of future that I see for resource efficient bricks, and shift towards biomass and PNG in short term. Maybe a few demo units working on PNG, maybe a few units which are mechanized, say, pneumatic feeding. So these are the new ideas which we would like to see being first demonstrated in the form of model units. And as I said, once the industry gains confidence, then sky is the limit. And I think, as I said in the beginning, this sector is a very, very potential sector which can contribute towards net zero ambitions of country, of the globe. I think thank you once again for holding a specific focus section on brick sector, and we look forward to continued dialogue on this. Thank you. Yeah.
Thank you very much, Dr. Arora. Now I would like to request Ms. Jyoti Joshi, Joint Secretary, Ministry of Industry and Commerce, Ministry of Industry, Commerce and Trade, Nepal, for her remark.
Thank you. Distinguished guests, virtual representative, members from HKS, ladies and gentlemen. I am pleased to participate in this important event, and I think I am the second last or last speaker, and thank you for your patience. And you people are here from morning 10, so I would like to make my speech very short. So owing and agreeing on the all participants and all speakers things, I would like to say just something. As from Indian parties, you just mention about the size and other things, so we can have that things from the IS standards as well as from Nepal standards. So we have in place many things. We have to just need coordination and collaboration with the other sectors so that we can go further. uh, uh, so let's come to the point. We have a huge amount of carbon black as well as the hazardous pollutant from these sectors like SO2, carbon dioxide, and excessive energy is required to produce the this brick. So we can do the product shift to have a with the better technology. So we need to reform our technology to green one and carbon trapping technology wherever it is possible. So it's my view and our government's view that it's better to stop at the source than the after management is the very difficult things. So for the strategy and policy things, our dear secretary already told about on that. So ladies and gentlemen, though the brick sector in Nepal is a very small sector, but it is a cross-cutting issue, and we are here in the learning process. Yeah, we can learn best things from the India and our partner countries. Though we are being a developing and a small country, we cannot invest a lot in the research and development, so we can learn from each other. As Pakistan people says, they learn from Nepal, so we will happy to learn from India. So at last, I would like to say, in this sector, informal sectors like women and children working in those sectors are very vulnerable. So we have to think about them also in this area. So we need to product shift, like with the, as madam said, for that using the fly ash. So we have to be shifted on from OPC to PPC product with the AAC light product brick ones, as we are very vulnerable to the earthquake, so we can have a light bricks wherever it can be used. Thank you all. Thank you, ECMOD, to providing this platform to us. Thank you all for your patience to listeners at last. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Ms. Jyoti. So now we had I think, a range of discussion which covers all part of the brick sector or whatever we did till now and our vision for the future. Now we will go to Katlina, Program Manager CCEC, for her remarks and listening from her on the way forward. Katlina, if you're there, you can come in, please.
Hello, good afternoon, Rabi, and good afternoon to distinguished guests that are sitting there in person. I'm sorry to not be able to attend, but I hope you can hear me. Can you hear me? Yes, okay, excellent.
We cannot hear you properly, Katlina. It's not loud enough.
Hello, can you hear me? I see that my colleagues that are here with me virtually can hear me, but can you hear me there, for those of you that are in the chat? Hello, Rabi, can you hear me now?
We can hear you now.
Okay, excellent. Thank you, Ravi. And once again, thank you very much to ECMOD for organizing this event. The Climate and Clean Air Coalition is very pleased to support the BRIC sector. And also, thank you very much to the distinguished guests and speakers, representatives from the BRIC associations in South Asia, as well as the representatives from the government. I'm very pleased to be able to participate in today's event. I would also like to note that the BRIC sector has been instrumental in helping the Climate and Clean Air Coalition achieve its mission, which is to put put the world on a pathway that rapidly reduces warming in the near term and maximizes development, health, environmental, and food security benefits. And as Martina mentioned earlier, we are doing this by supporting and catalyzing past action to reduce short-lived climate pollutants, of which black carbon is also an SLCP, and the BRIC sector, as we know, is a black carbon-rich source sector. I would like to note that the Climate and Clean Air Coalition over the past 8 years, has been the only global initiative that has been supporting efforts to improve the efficiency of the BRIC sector. And when launching the CCAC's 2030 strategy at the end of 2021, the BRIC sector was again included as one of the important sectors to tackle. But as the closing remarks, I would just like to indicate that we've heard obviously about the opportunities and about the achievements that we've managed to see over our work in these past 8 years. And we see that, however, there are still challenges to overcome, such as policy and regulatory gaps. We have technological barriers, as well as the investment financial barriers. And there are also other cost-cutting concerns to look at, such as soil health and loss of fertile agricultural land that is related to the sector. However, I'd like to highlight as well the high-level traction that Vidya referred to, and as well the environment and development discourse that has been evolving over the years and across the region in South Asia. We just heard about net zero commitments. There's also evolving changes associated to sustainable building and construction. And these, I think, are important to highlight as opportunities to see how we can address these, working together with the countries and the BRICS Association moving forward. I'd like to note that the Climate and Clean Air Coalition supports global advocacy, catalyzing actions and funding, as well as providing support to ODA-eligible countries. And Pakistan, Bangladesh, India, and Nepal are all CCAC partner countries, represented by the same ministries that are sitting today in the room. And this offers an opportunity because the CCAC recently launched a call for expressions of interest to its CCAC countries, requesting that they submit an overview of what are their needs and priorities. And this is therefore an opportunity for these countries in South Asia to submit a expression of interest on how they would like to expand efforts or planning efforts to address emissions from the tech sector. We've already seen that countries like Pakistan have included measures within their nationally determined contributions to convert kilns to zigzag kilns in Pakistan. And we've seen evolvement of policies in other countries as well, including emission regulations. So therefore, the CCAC is very interested in learning more from South Asia to understand what are other priorities that can help develop or move the needle on more effective regulatory systems, and that can support the deployment of measures at a larger scale. We also would like to understand what are particular, so that is at the planning level, but we also want to understand at the BRIC sector level, what are your mitigation needs and what further support could we provide to support, for instance, assessing sustainable bricks as a sustainable construction material to help countries incorporate bricks as part of these new movements towards sustainable bricks in construction. These are just examples I'd like to provide. And as a third window of opportunity, we also offer short-term targeted expert assistance that can support countries from 30,000 to 50K. And here we would love to learn more. Maybe there are feasibility assessments that countries have in mind, or specific guidance material, or tools that need to be developed that can support the enabling framework that can support more efficient brick production. So these are the opportunities, and I hope that the countries sitting there today will reach out. We would be happy to put you in contact or provide you with the focal points for Nepal, Pakistan, Bangladesh, and India to see how we can further this work in the region. So thank you very much, and once again, thank you for Isimon and its valuable contribution to this work, and for the Cryosphere Pavilion for allowing us to hold this event. Thank you once again.
Thank you very much, Katlina, for joining us online today. And we have a screening of a documentary in our agenda, but due to the constraint of time in our next session, we will have it. Please remain with us here for a few documentaries that we will have. With this, I would like to thank everyone, our colleagues, as well as representative of governments from all countries, and also industrialists, and also colleagues who joined us online today. So this is the end of our session. We will have a group photo. If you guys all come in the stage, we will have a group photo, and with that group photo, we'll end the session. Also, I would like to request all colleagues who are in the online platform to turn on their camera, please.